Yeah, of course. I don't know if there's like a list of questions. Other people seem to have like a predefined notion of things to say. Um,
Feel free. Go.
okay, I guess I can start with so I did my undergrad at UCSD. Um, I came out with a philosophy and a history degree, and just went straight into grad school. Um, I'll say that when I like started undergrad, I did not think I was going to do philosophy. I thought you'd have to be a fool to major in the humanities. Um, uh, and then, came out as a double humanities major with a minor in classical studies. Um, uh, so, somehow got sucked into the philosophy thing. Um, and I guess I chose to do grad school in philosophy because that just seemed for me just kind of the right natural kind of next step. I was interested in um doing, I guess, like, graduate level philosophy. I was taking graduate classes as an undergrad. I was involved in a graduate research group in philosophy of physics. Um, and the, it just seemed like assumed that I would do philosophy grad school. This is the next step. The professor just like, okay, when are you applying? It's like, I guess I'm supposed to apply. Um, uh, and so actually, I really wish I had spent more time thinking about whether I really wanted to get a PhD in philosophy, if this was the right next step for me. I had like played with the idea of taking a gap year and teaching English in Japan. I had like, gotten a certificate for teaching English. I had studied a little bit of Japanese. And then one of my advisors was like, no, no, don't do it. Gap years are bad. You'll like forget all this philosophy that you just spent the past 4 years learning. I was like, all right, he knows things. And yeah, like 6 months later, as I'm like starting the graduate program, I was like, man, I really wish I had, taken some more time to sit down and really think about what I wanted and whether I really did want to be in a PhD program. Uh, Especially since it's, a large time commitment, it's a large financial commitment. Good PhD programs will fund you. They don't fund you very much. And so, cost benefit analysis is that, you can have a real person job um, where you will be very fulfilled and also make money, or you can be in grad school where you might be fulfilled um, and you will make no money at all. Uh, in any case, so now I'm a fifth year um, in my PhD program. The normative time for my degree is 6 years. Uh, it is insane to me that I'm in my fifth year. I still think I'm like a first or second year who's like still figuring out what I'm doing in grad school. Um, I came in thinking I was going to do formal philosophy of physics. So Jiachi earlier was talking about like using formal models in philosophy. That's what I was all about. Here at UC Irvine, where I'm currently, I'm in the Department of Logic and Philosophy of Science. And that's like what this department does is like they just do math. Doesn't really look like philosophy. It's kind of sad sometimes. Um, but so I came in wanting to do work in quantum mechanics. Uh, and after like a year of doing that, I realized I was not at all interested in philosophy of physics. And so I started doing history of philosophy of science stuff. So still kind of physicsy oriented, but more historically informed with that history degree, which I thought was totally useless. Um, so I did history of philosophy of science for about a year, and then also realized I wasn't that interested in this. Uh, and then I was just kind of like lost for a year. So my first 3 years of grad school were I felt quite dark. Um, I hated every single day of it. Every single day I thought of leaving the program.
Mm.
Um, and then this is what made me think like I really should have taken that gap year, like more, what I really wanted out of this experience. Um, but then, variety of things happened. The pandemic happened, and I was like, it doesn't seem like a good time to leave. I miraculously passed my qualifying exams. And so the department was willing to keep me. And so then I radically changed my research subject to work on religion and science, which I had absolutely no background in. But I thought was something I could find fulfillment doing because it was something that was more kind of in touch with everyday folks with like real people concerns in a way that philosophy of physics and to some extent the history of philosophy of science just wasn't. And so now for the past 2 years, I've been pretty happy, I think. I haven't thought about leaving. I find the work I'm doing to be fulfilling. I find it interesting. It's also given me more opportunities to kind of connect with folks outside of philosophy, not only in different departments, but also in like public facing philosophy venues. And so for me, that I came to realize that was really important for me, because I think a lot of times in philosophy, things are so abstract. It's not always clear how they're going to be applied, especially in very specialized disciplines. And when you go to grad school, you're going to become really, really specialized in something. And so that can really feel isolating. That's definitely how I felt when I was doing philosophy of physics. And had this realization, like literally 2 people will ever care remotely about this stuff I'm doing.